Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios, and can you believe it's been 50 days or more since my last video? That's the longest break that I've ever had from a YouTube video, and you know, it wasn't intended, but I've sort of decided to take a little bit of a different approach to game development this year, especially, you know, with a lot going on in my personal life and everything. And of course, this new project, Lair of the Leviathan, I've really just been sort of getting stuck into the game and not sort of showing it off every minute, every day, you know, tweeting about it, posting about it, all that sort of stuff. There's a lot that's been happening in Lair of the Leviathan, and I wanted to sort of get it to a point that I was sort of comfortable showing you what I've been developing. And that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, today's video is basically showing you the in-game editor. And you've seen it before if you've seen any of these dev videos, but this is going to be showing you the encounter editor. And it's quite a powerful feature that you can really see how this will allow us to expand the world of Lair of Leviathan. So let's jump in. Finally. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a hat today because my hair is just, you know, it's a bit unkempt. So got the classic Survivor hat. Survivor's ready. Go! All right, so here we are at the title screen of the game, of course. And you know, if you've been following the videos, you may have seen this before, but I can't stop looking at it. I love it. And that is the work of my partner in this, David Aaron, who is from Nostalgic Realms. As you know, we're working on Lair of Leviathan together. This is a big project. This is, you know, most likely going to take us 2-3 years, 3 years probably. You know, how long's a piece of string? You just don't know. But when you start a new game, at the moment, I've been working on the character creator, and you might have seen this. I can't even remember. It's been that long since my last video that I don't even know if I've shown you the character creator. But right now, you've got your various races, and we will add more to these as we see fit. Let's go with a dwarven fighter, because dwarves are all Scottish, of course. And you've got all your stats for your characters. You know, this sort of tells you what they're good at. Notice they I'm going to go through this fairly quickly because I'm sure that I showed you this in a previous video. You can see the background. It was a gladiator. I'm going to see Gladiator 2 next week, by the way. I'm looking forward to it. I've been hearing some pretty good things about it. Okay. And you know, the cosmetics, let's call him Longshanks the dwarf. Ironic name, of course. And you know, you can see their age and their height and so on. Maybe he's tall for a dwarf at 144, a towering dwarf. And you, of course, can put your stats there and everything, and it tells you what that does. And this is still a work in progress, but it is enough for a character creator at the moment. So what you can see here, I've got to fix this up too. I've been working on the portraits. Yeah, a little overlapping there of the frame, but you can, of course, change many details on your character. The dwarves haven't got many different hairs yet, a few different beards, but we're going to be adding, you know, dozens of these to really add tons of variety to the character. And as you change it here, it will change on the characters themselves. But if for some reason the hair is not reflecting on that, I haven't actually worked on this in a little while. I just thought I'd show you it. But yeah, okay. And journey on with our character, Longshank the dwarf, ready. And as you then jump into the game, here's what you're going to see. The party appears. Now notice here, I've actually got a full party. Right now we've decided the party size can be 5 heroes. 5 heroes. And I feel like that's a pretty good balance between, you know, variety and, you know, you don't want too much in the way of micromanagement and so on. We may tinker with that later. And of course you can walk around the map. But what I wanted to show you, oh, it started to rain, is now we have encounters working. So if I go to this town here, now you see this box. You see the town of Stonewood. You can enter the town or you can journey on. And you know, you control that with the arrows if you want, or the mouse button. If you choose to journey on, off they go. But if you choose to enter the town, here we are in the town. This place reeks of pigs and shite. You should feel right at home here. So yeah, you see a little conversation box between two of your party heroes. We've actually got 2 dwarves in our party. And so these little conversations are going to flow through the game. And so right now, you can't do anything in the town, inside the town yet. You can't go into the buildings or anything like that because I haven't worked on that. But I'm going to show you now behind the scenes of what makes this all work. Okay, so I've reloaded the game in debug mode, so you'll see it's a different hero there. But say I'm walking around the map and so on. In debug mode, what I've been developing over the last couple of months is an in-game editor that David and I can work on together, and it actually saves the files between our 2 devices. I update the map, he sees it, he can create encounters, I see it. It's still a work in progress, but it's quite powerful. So if I, do the editor shortcut, now we're in the in-game editor, and you can see you can edit the maps, location, interiors, encounters, characters, quests. You can't see because of my pictures there. Items, powers, and miscellaneous. So we're in the region map editor right now. And you can name the map. You can, of course, and I might have shown you this before, but you can see behind here, these, and if I show you the map legend, these are all the walkable tiles. So FI, fields, FS, forest, and forest deep, forest shallow, and they all have different sort of values for how you can walk on the tiles, how much sort of movement it takes. It's faster to walk on roads and so on. But more importantly, there are certain encounters that can only happen on forest tiles or in the mountains and that kind of thing, and that is going to be huge. So there might be a 0.2% chance that an encounter happens in the mountains. So let's create one of those encounters for fun. So we're going to create a forest encounter. And you can also toggle how fast the party moves and so on. I'm not going to do any of that right now. Lights, all that sort of thing. Points of interest you might have seen before. That was our encounter there. That has a trigger radius. So when they get, the encounter becomes visible. So that door becomes visible when they get within this radius. And then it triggers in that purple radius. And there's a linked encounter here. So I've created a few here. When you get within that radius, you see the enter Stonewood encounter. The party reaches Stonewood. Now, if I go into the encounter editor, and we can edit this encounter. So here we have the actual encounter editor. And when you go within that little trigger radius, it shows you this encounter. And its first item is do decision. You see the town. You can enter the town, go to encounter link 2, which is this one down here, or you can journey on, go to encounter link 3, which is basically end the encounter. And this is enter location. Location is location number 1, which is location map 1. I'm going to change that to actual map names rather than numbers to make it easier for me to edit later. So that's how a current encounter works. But let's create a new encounter. That was that particular one. I'll quickly show you the conversation one. So once they reach the town, there was another encounter, and this basically says wait for 2 seconds, can wait for however long, and then do comment. Grum is one of the party members. These are the 4 members that I've created. Every new character I create, they'll appear in this little drop-down list, and then they can say, this place reeks of pigs and shite. We're going to have some swearing in this game. We're all adults here. If you're playing this kind of game, you're probably old enough. You've probably got a family of your own. You're probably, you're not a young kid. I don't think a little swearing is going to offend you too much. It's not going to be gratuitous, but, everyone likes it in Game of Thrones, that kind of thing. And then Redkin says, well, you should feel right at home here. And then we can end the encounter. What I could have done, I could have created a new link here and gone... these are the options we have right now. If you have an item, you can change the encounter to something else. You can do a comment, do an oration, which is a little pop-up box. Enter a different area, find items, loot items, play a sound effect. You could have you hear the Whiskeybarrel clink. And that will play that sound as soon as that happens. But we'll delete that event, that encounter link. What we're going to do now, though, we're going to create a new encounter. Now, this encounter is called, let's call it Fairy in the Forest. You don't need these are for my own reference. The party finds a fairy randomly. The encounter is repeatable. You could say this happens only once or it happens a lot. Do you pause the game when the encounter runs, or do you allow them to keep moving around the map? For now, most encounters you pause the game with just comments. We say, not. But let's turn off the pause. Actually, no, we'll keep it on. Chance of this encounter happening. Let's make it maybe a 10% chance. So every time they go into a forest tile, there's a chance of this happening. And this only happens at a fixed point of interest. So if I tick this, and then I go down to forest shallow, forest deep, these are different sort of biomes that we saw in the tile editor, right? So now if we go save this encounter, now we can edit it, create a new link. When this happens, we go do narration. You see friendly fairy hovering in an oak tree. This is not going to be an encounter really in the game. You could add a picture to this. We've only got a couple of pictures right now. There's a picture from the swamp and a picture of the castle, but let's just go with the swamp picture. It's not really relevant. And then I'll create a new link below, and we'll play a sound effect. And that might be what sound effects? I haven't got that many sound effects in the game yet. Let's do the Nostalgic Realms clink. It's its own little thing. And then create a new link, and we go do narration. We go not narration. We want to go do a comment. And Stinkums McGee says, I hate fairies. Okay. Oops. Hey, back to that. Sometimes the shortcuts for OBS overlap with this. Anyway, excuse that professional editing. Okay. I never edited any of this, Okay, so then we go create new link and end encounter. So that is now saved as an actual encounter file in the game. And you can edit characters, create new characters here and so on if I wanted to. Quests aren't working yet. Items, powers, miscellaneous is all sort of for, character colors. I'm going to have anything that is not to do with the main game yet. Locations. That was the one that had the trigger thingy. No, we're going to go back to region maps. We're going to create a new point of... Actually, you know what? We don't even need to do that because this is an encounter editor. Let's save the map, go back into the game and see if this... Now, when I walk in the forest, there's a chance... So they get all pixeled out when in the forest. There is a chance that encounter should come up. Okay, you see a friendly fairy hovering in an oak tree. Cool, so that's all happening in-game. I didn't need to save, recompile the game or anything. That is all happening as we speak. And, oh yeah, press the button, and then we should hear a comment from Stinkums. Although maybe Stinkums isn't in the party. That might be a problem. Yeah, I don't think the Stinkums character is in the party. So he's not saying anything yet. But there you have it. That's a fully working encounter. And then we'll leave the forest. When you're in the forest, they sort of dither out to sort of show that, they're covered by terrain and so on. And of course, when you're in the water, which you might have seen that before. And of course, there's day and night and everything like that. The sun is setting. But of course, you've seen all that already. At this point, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon fans who have been supporting the development of this game and all my projects over the years. BGP, Cavity Number 1, Dane Simino, Brandon K, Noah Gudajan, X Up Omega, Seth Drabitko, Jeffro of Hex 3D, Hopeless, Lewis Fugel, Valenwed, Evan, Martin Shalupski, and Sir Onyx. If you'd like to see your name there, and if you'd like to get the special newsletters I send out as often as I can, be a patron and support me in the link below. Much appreciated, guys. You're great heroes. And I'm not even going to bother with Tharga in the armor today because he just gets on everyone's nerves. But there you have it. That is what I've been working on the last few months. And, it's one of those things where for a long time it feels like nothing's happening and there's nothing I can even show you guys. And then all of a sudden, I've got a full working encounter system which will be able to link to finding items, combats, cutscenes, entering locations, changing locations, changing game variables, all sorts of cool things can all happen from an in-game editor. And a few people have asked me, will this be available to the general public? At this stage, not yet. Not when the game launches, but in time, we would love to make this sort of a thing that you can mod the game and release your own sort of adventure packs and so on. There's a few things that I still have to work in the editor for, like the tile, terrain, and everything. I have to go into the Godot editor and not the in-game editor to work with that. And there's a few other things that require that I can't do in the editor. But if I can get it all working in there at some point, and if the game is selling well, of course, you don't want to do these things for a game that is not selling, because what's the point? But I would love to be able to add mod support to the game for hardcore fans, to build up the community of mods. And maybe you can remake games like Champions of Krynn and all the other classic Dungeons and Dragons using our Leo Leviathan engine. What are we going to call it? The Whiskeybarrel engine, whatever it is. It would be really cool to have. So we'll see. As I said, there are many more months, years to go in the development. Maybe it'll be faster with this encounter editor already. I can already see how quickly we'll be able to start developing content. But we do want a lot of content in this game. And so therefore, I hope that, I'm going to be updating and improving the editor and creating templates and things to make development faster. Because you can already see, there are limitations to that encounter editor already. But everything from making items to powers to characters to monsters to locations, I'm hoping to be able to put as part of that in-game editor. All right, my friends, until next time, I'll have another video for you soon, sooner than 50 days. Far too long a break, and I do apologize for that. I've missed you guys. I miss you. And I miss the comments and the interactions and so on. One other thing, Sword and Sandals Immortals is, of course, on sale right now on Steam. It was the daily deal over the weekend. So party, all that money, make it rain. I appreciate it. It's good being able to have the Swords and Sandals series bringing in money helps me develop the game, because that's my only source of income. It really is. That's it. Nothing else. I'm full-time doing this, and I rely on the money from Sword and Sandals, and I'm very grateful that people still enjoy the series. And Immortals has had a bit of a renaissance with the daily deal and more people playing it. There will be some more Sword and Sandals news early next year. I sort of teased at that, but I'll have more to show you. There's more Sword and Sandals in the works alongside this project as well. Okay, my friends, for real, until next time, look after yourselves, and bye for now.